Hello and welcome to the Education on Fire podcast. The place where we share creative and inspiring learning in our schools. Season 5, Episode 71. Hello and welcome back to the Education on Fire podcast with me, Mark Taylor. This is the launch show for Season 5 and I hope you've had an enjoyable summer. I hope you've enjoyed the few extra bonus episodes we've done since Season 4, which was obviously our music and the art season. Season 5 is going to be focusing on PE and sport in primary schools. We're going to be discussing the difference between PE and sport. We're going to have interviews with people who have great resources to share with you, both in terms of a podcast which you can listen to, some free resources on a website related to that, someone that has a membership site, people that can help you train and learn within the school and actually set up PE in a way that can really be help embedded a whole learning ethos, really, not just about lesson plans and how you do one lesson to the next. And also we're going to be talking to a coach who on a county level and a local level, and that way that we can build a community around the sport that we're doing within schools and how we can make that sort of cohesive amongst everyone that's around us, which I think is a really nice way to sort of really see sport as part of everything that's going on, not just as a particular lesson which we all have to do outside of our classroom or within our playgrounds. So the other thing I'd like to share with you is the fact that Education on Fire has recently just become a podcast network. Not only is this podcast, Education on Fire, going to continue in its theme seasons, and if you haven't heard any previous ones, please do go back. There's the music and the arts, there's computing, there's our interview season with children and what do they think about their schooling, as well as our initial season of sort of embedding all the ethos and our kind of thought process about why this podcast was set up. But Learning on Fire came out of my conversations with you, the audience, who were wanting to help your children, both in terms of your students and your, as a parent. What was learning all about? How can we help our children learn, not just in terms of maths and English and the subjects we're doing, but actually what is it that learning is all about? Why are we learning? What are we trying to achieve? And how do we go about doing that? And so I'm interviewing people who are successful and fulfilled, but really I'd like to put it in a way that they're living life on their terms. Yes, some of these people I've interviewed are multimillionaires and actually have managed to create incredible businesses and great wealth, but that's not really the purpose. It's more the fact that they've done things which they were really passionate about and they've managed to make a difference in their lives and also be able to share that to other people. And they share some great resources and some great things that they've been told, their education and learning experiences and things that they'd like to be able to share with others. And I kind of think of it a little bit like if you had a half an hour conversation that you'd like to share with your children. This is lots of half an hour conversations where you get to really get an inside track on the really important things that you'd like to make sure the next generation knows. The other thing about this network is it's being sponsored by the National Association for Primary Education, and the third podcast within the network is going to be their own podcast where we're going to share the work that they're doing, the projects they're involved in, all the way from European projects and dealing with ministers and trying to really get the child first centre at the heart of education again, all the way through to some of the projects. I recently went to the NEC with them about 3D printing, so it really is across the board from maths and English all the way through to some really great creative stuff and everything in between. So we're going to be taking you on a journey of what NAPE is all about, who's involved, what the National Council was able to offer, and also we want to be hearing back, what is it that we can do for you? If you're our NAPE member, how can we help you? What are you struggling with? What resources would you like? And how can we put all these things together to really, really support you to make your teaching experience and your learning experience as an adult the best it possibly can be. The other thing that they're doing as part of this network is also supporting the launch, which is going to happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks, of Primary Music on Fire. And this is my passion in terms of being a musician, of being an educator, and my experience as being a professional percussionist, and being able to share that with so many people. I've had some great feedback. People are already signing up to the email list and really wanting these resources. And it's really just a chance for me to take teachers who may not have all the understanding and all the knowledge of being a musician, but may find themselves as a music coordinator or having to teach music in their school, and teaching them really from the moment you step into the first classroom, what do you do, and then from there, what resources do you need, and then showing you all the things in between, holding your hand, some rhythm things, some pitch things, some singing, some recorders, some ocarinas, some samba, topic work, how you embed it throughout the curriculum, all this kind of stuff that we're going to be talking with. And not only are there resources there for doing that, there's going to be a forum and a chance for you to ask questions with us. We're going to be answering your questions about that on some live videos on YouTube and Facebook Live. So it's going to be a really exciting thing for us to be able to pull together, and I hope you'll join us for that as well. So this was just a quick hello, a welcome back to the autumn term, and I'm really excited to get all this kicked off and moving on. And our PE season will start next Monday, and it's going to be focusing on the PE Umbrella podcast. Thanks very much for listening, and I'm really looking forward to sharing all the great resources that we have coming up in the next few weeks. Thanks for listening to the Education on Fire podcast. For more information of each episode and to get in touch, go to educationonfire.com. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire.